You are now listening to or watching the It Takes All Kinds podcast.
Yeah, and if you aren't, you can head over to Apple Podcasts or Spotify and listen to us now, or head on over to Drib on YouTube and watch the video version as well.
And if you'd like to stay up to date on when we're releasing a new episode or any other fun information about the podcast, you can give us a follow on Instagram at It Takes All Kinds Podcast and on Twitter at ITAC Podcast. That's ITAK Podcast.
Without saying much else, we hope you enjoy this episode.
Dear God.
Damn, boy, he's dead. This is brilliant.
That was a lot.
Never sniffing.
The green?
What was that? It's like concrete crumbling.
Well, you might be wondering what that was.
So back in 1957, Gavin,
Yeah.
what's up, bud?
Oh, you know.
No, I don't. That's why that's why I asked. I'm not even gonna do. That's not even a funny joke. It's not funny anymore.
Just been doing my own thing. I actually had 2 days off, so I had a great week.
Do you want me to call a doctor? Okay, well, you want me to? Hey guys, welcome to the It Takes All Kinds podcast. Gavin, what episode are we on?
Somebody touch my smoke.
We are on episode 15.
That's right.
We are recording this on Tuesday, the 15th, and you will be hearing it on June 18th.
That's right. Gavin, what's 1 month from tomorrow?
July 16th.
Uh-huh. Which is? Do you want a hint?
4th of July.
No. Do you want a hint?
Yeah, sure. What's a hint?
It's
Yeah, Space Jam.
There it is. I was looking at the calendar and I have Space Jam on July 16th put in. Because Gavin and I are going to do Space Jam extravaganza. It's called Space Jamathon.
Yeah.
Space Jamathon.
Space Jam Marathon.
Space Jam Marathon.
Yep. So, this week is a very I would say a special week because we're coming off the high of your birthday. Coming off the high of your birthday party.
Really good episode.
Yeah, and
we were high too.
Yeah, we were really high. We got some feedback from that episode.
Oh, we did? Oh,
yeah, you remember what Andrew said?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's
Andrew,
what I was going to go to,
yeah.
but yeah, you tell it.
Yeah, Andrew, we went bowling on Friday.
Yes, we did. Legally.
But yeah, well, here's the thing is that Lene made it sound like we were going to get free bowling. So then we showed up.
Oh, I wasn't even there for that. So tell me what happened
So
with
basically
that.
we showed up and so two things happened.
Uh-oh.
Lene found out that all of her coworkers from her job were also there because I guess they also assumed.
Choked up about it.
Yeah.
It's all right, dude. You can get through it.
I guess
We'll
I guess maybe they also thought that they'd get free bowling this Friday or something.
Uh-huh.
But Lene completely did not know that they were going, and so
wow,
which is
man.
so sad.
It's okay, dude.
So
If you want the $10, I'll Venmo it to you, dude. It's all right.
So originally it was not supposed to be $10. Lene was trying to get us to go for free. We would have all used our free parking passes.
Our fast passes.
Uh-huh. And so then we show up and like we're waiting in line and stuff like that, and then we show them our free passes, and they're like, "Oh, actually tonight is free bowling, or actually tonight is unlimited bowling for $10." Free shoes, I guess,
Okay.
or shoes are included in that price.
And it was just that night.
Yeah, just Friday nights. It's like from whatever o'clock we got, like from
I think it was like 10 to 1 or
yeah,
something.
10 to 1 or something like that. So we just paid for that because we showed up at like 10:30 or yeah, it was like 10 o'clock.
Around 10.
Yeah, so Lene was like, "Oh, hey, you guys are all here," and so I was like, I was pretend I didn't know this, but originally I thought that like they just didn't invite Lene, but no, she had like a group chat muted.
Oof.
So they were like, everybody wants to go, texting the group chat.
Yeah.
So I guess everything worked out.
Awkward.
So yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so it was you couldn't use it because of the
Yeah. You can
special they already had going on.
Yeah. You can
Oh wait. Oh yeah. Yeah, no, it was fun. It was a good time, and I bowled a perfect game.
You sure did.
I certainly did. No, I did all right. I do fine for myself at bowling.
If I had a ball that wouldn't slip or get stuck on my fingers whenever I would throw it,
Yeah,
maybe
I
I
needed
would
ones
do
with
better.
bigger holes.
Yeah.
That's what I always say.
Yeah.
When
Your big sausage fingers.
my creamy fingers. I was gonna say something about bowling, and so you were getting to what Andrew told us when we were bowling. So you found out while we were bowling. I found out that morning.
Oh,
which
really?
is funny
Okay.
now that
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it. Cause go on. I want you to tell it.
So he was just like, he just like told us that, I guess somehow, maybe not somehow, but I
You
guess
better be careful because she might be listening to this right now.
yeah, I guess
never
somehow, Andrew's mom started watching our podcast, and maybe just skip to the Andrew's part, but
Yeah.
did not like some of the things that Andrew said.
Yeah. But here's the thing before you go on that I find very interesting is that one thing he told us, which I know you'll say, but I'm just going to ruin it for you and say it now, is that he told us that she thought the video had 700 and whatever views, however many subscribers we have. But it was actually the amount of subscribers she was reading, thought it was the amount of views. So in my head, I'm like, how would she be able to, and no offense, how would she be able to skip to Andrew's part but not know that the difference between subscribers and view count? You know what I mean? I don't know, unless she just like skipped around a bunch and then
She
it was just like,
she
oh,
probably
here.
was just skipping around.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. But yeah, go on, sorry.
So
And,
yeah, he had just mentioned it, and then he was just kind of like,
was that E.T.?
yeah. So yeah, he was just telling us like that was some feedback that we got is that
Don't talk shit on your mom on the podcast.
yeah, sorry.
He called out his mom. He did a diss track on her last. It came out yesterday.
Yeah.
So we can no longer talk about moms, or they will hear it.
Yeah.
But it was just crazy that she heard it because like, it's not like Andrew told her to listen to it or Christian told her to listen to it. It's just like she listened to it, and I asked him, I'm like, how did she even see it? And he's like, I think she has like notifications turned on, which was very funny because it was like Friday morning when he told
Oh, really? Okay.
me. He texted me and he's like, yeah, so my mom heard the podcast, and I was like, what? Why? I'm like, it's a 3-hour long video. Which, speaking of which, if you guys haven't seen it, we did a 3-hour long episode for my birthday.
And actually was a lot of fun.
It was.
It did
I
get
really
a little
enjoyed
hot
it.
in here.
Got a little hot, and the one thing I'll say is that I'm never going to film it that way if it's that long of a video, because it took me... I told you that it took me a long time, but I didn't tell you why.
No.
So I literally like sat down and watched the whole thing to cut between you and I talking, or you...
Yeah.
Or
And the guest.
me and you and the guest. And like towards the end of it, I was so tired of doing it that like if you do watch it, most of the stuff when we have a guest on is mostly just you and the guest, because I would only like say a couple things and then you guys would talk. So I was like, yep, it's just mostly gonna be them.
Well, also like the camera behind me had turned off like a couple times.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
multiple times, so I just had forgotten to check too.
Yeah. I mean, it was equally my fault as it was yours. But it was a lot of fun. Like, I was not sure what to expect. And I was like, when planning it, I was like, yep, 3-hour show. And then I was like, oh, it's going to be too long. We're going to have to do like
man, I'm
two.
going to have to hire somebody to edit this.
No, I was just like, I was thinking more like in the moment. I wasn't even thinking about editing. I was just like, man, I don't know if I can do that long of a show. But like, I could have done, well, I feel like I could have done longer, but I remembered that the last 15, 20 minutes with Johnny, I was like, man, I'm so ready to be done. Especially like the last 5 minutes, I was like, I'm antsy right now.
I gotta get up.
I gotta go.
Yeah, you actually sat down that whole time. So
I did. I never got up, and Gavin left 16 times
Uh-huh.
and was gone for 10 minutes at a time each. But no, it was a ton of fun, and I would do that again in a heartbeat. Like I really, really, really enjoyed that, and I didn't think I would. And excuse me, and I would do that. Yeah, I'd do that again. I can do a fucking 5-hour show next year.
yeah, we're gonna go
10 hours.
24-hour show.
24-hour podcast. I'll sit the whole fucking time. I'll never get up. I don't even care if I have to piss. I'll piss in my pants. I'll wear a catheter.
I'll get a colostomy bag,
I'll get a Klaus.
and I'm just going to say that I did enjoy doing that for that long.
But you were tired.
I was tired. And I wanted to do
Maybe on a
something
day
else.
where you didn't have work.
Yeah, that probably would have been good.
But we got to do what we got to do. But, everybody, we got to do it. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I think people like it. I can't imagine anybody's actually listened to the whole 3 hours, but if you
did,
thank you.
Comment Big Chungus.
Big Chungus at hour 2. Comment about your favorite part. What do you think your favorite part was from it?
My favorite part, the part whenever I'd get up and leave.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah, that was probably one of my favorite.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember how
Yeah.
fun that was for me,
Yeah.
sitting here.
I guess the whole night. Whenever we went to, I was gonna say Burger King, Bubba Cubs, but
Bubble Cups.
yeah, Bubba Cubs.
What's Bubba Cups?
I don't know. That's just what I started calling Burger King.
Bubba Cubs.
Yeah, Bubba Cubs.
Well, that wasn't even on the podcast, dude. We didn't go to the McDonald's in the podcast.
Well, I enjoyed it.
Well, they didn't see that. I don't know. You must have been so drunk you don't even remember that, dude.
Yeah, dude.
I don't think you remember anything. You don't remember anything. Excuse me. Gavin, you want to talk about your soundboard you got?
Yeah,
that you're playing
so
with?
I have a iPad Pro 11-inch powered by the Apple M1 chip. And what we have here is a meme soundboard from 2016 all the way
Back.
down, all the way back to 2016.
To 2005.
All the way up to 2021. Who's with me? 2020.
So what kind of sounds you got in there?
Basically
'Cause
everything
you can do
else.
some fun things with it.
Yeah.
You were
hold
showing
on.
me some fun things earlier. Don't play copyrighted music, though.
Yeah, that's the thing that sucks.
Sounds like we're in the back of a club. So Gavin's pretty much a DJ now. DJ Gav in the house. Sounds like somebody's rubbing balloons together. That's a lot of fun. Here, dude, let me try it. No, I don't think I can do it. Can you do that with the bruz? Mine's significantly louder than yours is. That was a lot. So Gavin has a soundboard now. He doesn't have his own sounds program, but he's using stolen ones. He's using stolen sounds. Hold on, let me pop all these bubbles real quick. Beautiful. So Gavin, should I just what if I whip these eggs together real quick? So I guess Gavin's just gonna play and have fun over here. Excuse me. Hey, dude. Hey,
Hey,
hey, dude. Were you just having fun over there?
huh?
Should I just get into it? Should I just get into it? Hey, Gavin. Hey, Gavin. Should I just get into it, huh? Hey, Gavin. Should I just get into it?
Yeah, huh? Jump.
All right.
Jump right into it. So actually, one more thing I want.
Jesus Christ. What the fuck is even going on with this episode?
I'm just kidding.
I take it back. Can we take that back? Oh, as you guys can finally see now, real quick.
Joe Biden.
Wow, that is so much louder now. As you guys can see, you can
Joe Biden.
finally see the Chesterfield cigarette poster and
What did
the
you make
first
a wide
strip
angle?
sticker. You can't see it? Yeah, no, it can see it now. Whereas, but remember, you just got like stunned. You remember how last time when we had the 2-camera thing, and I said, "Oh yeah, you guys can see,"
you can
and then
see
I was
that.
like, "Wait, you can't even see it."
You could see. I think you could see the corner of it.
Yeah, you can see part of it. What were you gonna say? You fuck.
I was just trying to interrupt you.
Oh, I thought you were actually gonna say something. I was
That's
actually
an
excited for
awfully hot
once.
coffee pot. That's an
I'll mute you, dude. You don't fucking listen to me. All right, I'm gonna try. Like I told Gavin. Jesus Christ. As I told Gavin before, when we were before we started recording, I'm gonna try and keep this not too long. I'm gonna keep it interesting though. I mean, it is interesting, but I'm gonna try and keep it short and stout.
Oh no, I hope I don't fall.
Yeah, me too. I hope I don't fall either.
That's the ceiling.
Speaking of setting it up, but then say speaking of like I needed a segue.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give a much anticipated update on my apartment
You know
saga.
what? Actually, one more thing.
Yeah, go on.
My favorite part of the last episode was the fact that you spoke about your apartment for 30 minutes and then like put off bringing on guests until you were done with that story.
Well, I didn't want to bring someone on while I was talking about it.
No, let's keep doing it.
Do you want to bring someone in now? We have guests this
Yeah,
episode.
we actually do.
Come on in, Kevin.
Here they come.
They're being lowered in from the ceiling. That's crazy. Oh, they got stuck.
Yeah, they got
stuck in the
halfway.
ceiling.
Yeah,
So
just out of frame.
just out of frame. You guys can't see it. Sorry, no guests this episode. So I told the tale of my apartment well, I've been ever since I moved in. I've been discussing, speaking of my apartment and the many issues that I've been having with it. And folks, they just keep happening. They just don't stop, do they, Gavin? Right?
You know, it's almost become like a meme now.
Yeah, dude.
That
I keep seeing it all over the meme pages.
Well, that your apartment is the way it is, and that you're paying this much for it, and that you make the stories excruciatingly long about.
Well, I just want to show everybody how painful it is.
Yeah,
That's why this episode is going to be 3 hours of me just talking about my apartment issues. Ugh. So last time I spoke about. Let's go back and play the last episode and see what I said exactly. I'll fucking mute you, dude. So last week I spoke about how I still don't have my dryer, and I spoke about something else, and I'm blanking. What are you doing? You just need a stretch. Gavin's just gonna go for a walk real quick. I spoke about how I still don't have a dryer and something. Oh, the what I thought was mold. Let me just open these Doritos.
Yeah.
What I thought was mold, and and I have an update on both, and then some. So number one, just to get it out of the way, I finally did get a dryer. So as far as I'm concerned, unless my dryer breaks, you'll never have to hear about my dryer again. And everybody's happy about that. So I finally got the dryer on yesterday. Yeah, why did I even have to think about that? I got it yesterday, and what ended up happening is, I don't think I told you this. No, I didn't. So what ended up happening is So I got in contact with this one lady on Friday, which I'll explain why I got in contact with her in a minute, who works in the leasing office, who I've never dealt with before, and she's new. So I think, like, for now, she's actually compassionate with the people that live here until she gets hardened to the bullshit that her other coworkers have put up.
Yeah. What you have to do is keep calling up there and try to get someone different and try to get a different response from different people.
Oh, I already get that, Gavin.
Oh, I know, but I mean, like, you actually have to make an attempt.
And most of them are lies.
What? No way. You don't think that they would give you a false sense of hope and appease you, right?
Or lie to me.
Or lie to you, right?
No, never. Not these people.
Not your landlords.
No, well, they're not even my fucking landlords. They just work for the landlord, who probably tells them, lie. I'm gonna need you to lie. We're short this month.
We gotta get through this.
We're blowing money like it's nothing. So she ended up, because of other reasons, felt bad for me to make sure and made sure I got my dryer, which again I will explain in a minute why she felt bad for me. And she ended up getting set up to get my dryer delivered. And what I ended up finding out is that they don't have a maintenance team right now.
Oh, so whenever they say that they were short-staffed, they mean that they're fine in the office, but they don't have a maintenance team.
They do not have a maintenance team. They have one person who's out sick or maternity leave or something, and then the only two people they have working, well, actually the only person they have working is like 75 years old, and then I don't even know who the other guy is who came over on Friday, which I'll get to in a minute. But so they don't have a maintenance staff, so they've been borrowing some. And the guy who came on Monday,
you should apply to be the maintenance staff.
I sure would love to
become an indentured servant too.
I sure would love to
become an indentured servant to pay off your
endangered servant.
An
endangered wild animal. So yeah, so I ended up finding that out on Friday. So she called me yesterday at 9 a.m. to discuss other things and to tell me that she was going to have people from the renovations team come over and deliver my dryer. Now, the renovations team
on the renovations team,
there's plenty. There's plenty, but guess what? They don't work for, they're just like contracted. But actually, I ended up finding out the guy who's the head of the renovations team actually lives here. He told me that, and I have his phone number.
Wait, really?
And his name's Fernando. I think I brought up Fernando before.
Yeah, you have. Yeah. He actually lives here?
Yeah, I ended up finding that out. He's like, because I was like, oh, what time are you guys here until? And he's like, oh, I live here. I was like, oh, okay.
So you're here all night, literally.
So you can come over whenever. I got beer in the fridge. Coors Light. So, yeah, so she ended up getting the renovations team to come over and deliver it for me. And mind you, I got a call. Trying not to make this too long. I got a call at like 9:15 in the morning. And she was like, oh, I'm sorry if you're weren't awake yet, but I just wanted to call you because they're about to bring your dryer over and install it. And I was like, nope, that's perfect. Thank you so much. And then they didn't come. It was like, again, it was like noon and it was still not here. And so I called them and I said, you know, when they're going to bring it by, like, I got to go. I have to leave.
Yeah.
Because it was like 9 when she called me and it was noon when it still wasn't here. And so she ended up, she's like, oh, yeah, they'll be over soon. And then they ended up bringing it over and installing it. And then they needed a part. So somebody had to go buy the part from Lowe's. And then so finally by like 4 o'clock, the dryer was installed. Now, the funny thing is that I didn't show you is it doesn't fully fit in that cabinet in there. So I have to like push the dryer into the wall to get the door closed.
That's a funny joke, Carson.
It's really funny. So I got the
dryer. I
dryer.
can't wait for these problems to happen whenever I move into my apartment in a month and a half.
Let's hope they don't. Because there's
I'm
more where that came from.
You know, I was thinking of this. I was thinking, oh, Carson, you must have them on speed dial, and I'm not sure that I know how to make somebody on speed dial anymore.
You're not sure how to call people.
I'm not sure how to dial something.
You have an iPad, but you don't have a phone.
I have to. I'm so used to the
rotary.
Yeah, the rotary phones.
You gotta look. Well, you gotta look it up in the phone book.
Yeah, I pull out the old Yellow Pages, the one that my mom got me who wanted for my birthday. I got a Yellow Pages,
the one that I use for firewood. Yeah.
Wait, didn't we use one actually before?
Maybe.
I think we
it's
ripped
possible.
it in half.
Sorry, my back is just destroyed. I've had a bad back since I moved.
You've had a bad back, well, since you were born.
Well, then my back was fine, and now my bad is back. and it's my lower back, and boy, howdy, does it hurt. So I got the dryer. That long story short on that, because the other stories are more intensive, all intensive purposes. So that was yesterday. Excuse me. Oh shit! Getting a lot of notifications here. Jesus Christ. Oh, got some coins. So yeah, so got that. That's out of the way now. So on Friday, the day you heard my birthday special episode, I went to work.
Yeah, Carson doesn't have a real job.
Not a real job. Went to some the 2 thrift stores that I go to on a daily basis, pretty
On a
much
whim.
weekly basis. On a
There's two
work week.
the 2 places I work at on a whim.
The 2 places that I work at and the 2 clients I have.
Yeah.
So I did that, and I'm like gone in the morning, and I'm home in the afternoon for a couple hours, and then I'm gone again in the afternoon, and then I usually come home around 5. So I get home at 5. I get home at 5. Walk in, everything's normal. Getting stuff ready because I usually my usual Saturday schedule is I go and I sell stuff at the store. Shout out Reset in St. Louis. And I was getting.
I'm just kidding.
I was doing laundry. I didn't even connect the dots there. So I do laundry usually on Friday nights unless I have a wedding on Saturday, and I was doing laundry, and I put all my stuff in an IKEA bag that I take to Reset. And I have my IKEA bags in this closet that's directly behind me, as you'll see on the camera. Oh, wait. So I went in there, got an IKEA bag. I put 1 foot in the closet, Gavin.
1 foot in the door, 1 foot in the gutter.
1 foot. And my foot instantly soaked. Instantly soaking
You're
wet.
like, I don't have a dog.
I don't remember walking through water. Did I jump in a puddle earlier? It's just not getting to me. So I'm like, that's weird. And so I get on my hands and knees and I start putting my hand further in the closet. And the further I get into my closet, the wetter my hand gets. That was the sound of my hand going in the closet.
Yeah. That's whenever Carson realized he's gonna have to call them again.
That's when I realized that I was fucked.
Another one.
Yes, another problem. So
Another one.
I'm like, oh, piss. I think
like-
it's probably my water heater. I'm like, that tastes like
Yeah,
shit.
You said
Dirty water.
Yeah.
I start sucking my toes too. So I'm like, it's either my AC unit or my water heater,
Or your toilet.
which is, you know what? I never thought it was my toilet. Like,
really?
I'm not even.
Of all things.
Well, because
My first guess was that somebody upstairs flooded their toilet. Because in
that was
my
not
old house,
first thought.
in my house or my old
Your
house,
upstairs neighbors.
no, our upstairs toilet flooded before we moved in, so there was like a constant like look to our ceiling. It kind of
You
looks
guys
like
never
that.
fixed it.
Well, we couldn't do anything about it. It was way
Take it
past
out
and
and
gone.
put it in.
It was way past and gone and dead and gone. But,
Dang,
yeah.
gone.
By the time that was, yeah,
You guys can just replace the ceiling.
that's too much money.
Nope.
It's pretty good. Yeah, so I never thought anything about the toilet for whatever reason. I think I just like really did not want it to be dirty water, so I didn't think anything about the toilet. Not that toilet water can't be clean, but like first thought was like, nope, it can't be dirty water, that's for sure.
If dogs
And they're
can
also
drink
renovating upstairs, so
it, if dogs can drink it, people can drink it.
that's what I always said. So I go into my HVAC closet, thinking, like I said, AC, water heater, one of those. And I, hold on. And I look in there. You playing it off your Galaxy Note 3? So I open it up, and it's just like, it was like it was like raining in my HVAC closet. It was just like dripping from the ceiling and like dripping off of my air conditioner and all that. And the floor was just covered in water. So I was like, okay, this is leaking, and it's just leaking so much that it's like going through the wall and into my closet. So then I look up and I'm like, well, it's coming from the ceiling, so that's weird. But I was just like, and I went back and I checked my closet, and then I looked up, and that's when I noticed it was coming from the ceiling in there. I'm like, okay, so either there's a pipe that's like, there's a pipe that's connected right there. That was me getting really mad. That was me getting super mad at my soaking wet apartment. And so I was just like, okay, it's just a pipe somewhere above that's leaking, and it was like a constant flow of water coming from the ceiling. Just constantly flowing. That was the sound of the water. And so I call them and I tell them what's going on. The maintenance guy comes out. He checks my HVAC. He's like, your pipe's fine. Oh, dude, it was funny. So this guy, God bless him, was probably in his 50s and had a...
That's where we got my time. I got some of these.
Shout out for
really
50s.
Yeah.
Well, you could have made it worse for what I'm about to say. Let's just say that. So he comes out, and like I said, God bless him. No offense to this. It was just like, I don't even know what the point of me saying this is, but I'm just going to say it anyways. He had a very bad, like, stutter / like speech impediment to where, like, he'd, like, stutter, but then his speech was, like, also delayed. Like, he'd say something, and then he'd be like, and then he'd start talking, and I was just like, and he just, like, wasn't saying much. Like, he wasn't telling me much. And so I was like, I kept trying to ask questions, and I was just like, I'm not really getting my answer here. And so it was funny because he's like, I'm going to check your like drainage pipe from your HVAC that like drains into this hole in the floor. And I forgot what he did something. Oh, he like blew air into it. And then he puts his mouth on it.
Yeah, you're supposed to do that.
And he goes, and then he's like,
yeah, you get the water going. You got to get the water going.
Yeah, it was weird. So he's like, well, it's not this. He's like, so I'm going to go. It's definitely coming from upstairs because I see this pipe sweating. So he's like, I'm going to go upstairs and check that. And he's like...
And then this is him walking upstairs.
Yeah, because he was all bones, that guy. So he checks it, and he's like, it seemed fine to me, but... Or it's like, I couldn't see anything, so it's definitely a pipe that's like going through the floor and into the ceiling. So I'm going to get an HVAC guy out here to check it. So the HVAC guy comes out, he comes down, and he's like, yeah, so it wasn't even an HVAC issue, it was a plumbing issue. And he's like, all it was that the water heater, there's like two pipes that come out of the water heater, and one of them where the valve was leaking like a lot.
It's actually really funny to me that this is all happening I'm pretty sure this isn't only happening at your apartment, but it's funny to me that all these like loose little pipes like have caused like these massive issues for you.
Yep.
Because it happened with the washer. Basically, the gist
it's happening with the washer, Gavin.
The gist of
I'll get to that.
The gist of 30 minutes of Carson talking about his washer from last week was that it was just a loose knob, and that's basic. That like, barring anything else from affecting that was the sole issue, was that a loose pipe or like a loose knob on a pipe literally is causing all these huge issues.
Well, so it's funny because that loose knob, it turns out that it's not even the issue with that.
Oh, okay.
Which I will get to in a minute.
It's good that he stopped it.
Well, yeah, it's good that he stopped whatever it was that is not even the problem, which I'll get to in a minute. But actually, it's funny you say that because all the thing was upstairs was just a loose knob.
Yeah.
So he's like, it was just coming out of this valve, like the valve's bad or something, so I'll have to send a plumber out and I'll tell them that. He's like, but all I did was tighten it and it stopped. So then, like, I would say like 15 to 30 minutes later, after all the water was drained into my apartment, it stopped. Now, luckily, it was just clean water because it was just coming out of their HVAC, so it was all filtered water. And also, I didn't mention, or I probably mentioned before, but they're renovating the apartment above me, so it's not like somebody's living there. So that's where the leak was caused, and it leaked into my office closet where I store all of my inventory, and by the grace of God, as I keep saying, it happened to just leak onto the one wall that I didn't have any clothes on. So luckily, nothing was affected by it. Otherwise, that could have been hundreds to thousands of dollars in damage to clothes, even though it was clean water, but it still could have damaged it. Full moon tonight. So, yeah, so that happened, and it stained my closet. They have to replace the drywall in there. Big stain on my ceiling, stain in my bathroom.
It literally just looks like somebody pissed on your ceiling.
That was me after I was pissing mad.
Oh, yeah.
I was pissing mad. So they have to send some people out to fix that. They got someone out to clean my carpet right away, which was good, but who fucking knows how long it's going to take for them to fix my closet. And, like, I have... Oh, it's my Alexa.
Oh, okay.
I was like, it sounded like somebody
Somebody's
was, like,
in here.
pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my closet has now moved out into my office now, so I really don't even have an office. I do have enough room here to do our thing. And I put a few things back on there just to get out of the way. Yeah, so that was fucking horribly aggravating, and will probably take months for them to fix it, knowing them, and they'll probably end up getting the renovations team out to fix it, most likely. And so that happened on Friday. They came and cleaned it. The guy came out, blah, blah. And then, so when the renovation guy, Fernando, came out to install my washer or dryer, sorry. No, I'm getting it mixed up. He was like, he came in one time. He's like, let me see the leak. And I was like, oh, you want to see? Because they're renovating the one upstairs. He's like, because I think this one lady who I wasn't talking to about all this called me. And she's like, hey, it's Volleyball. Can you tell me again what happened with the leak?
And you're like, sure. As a matter of fact, here's a 30-minute story about it.
Yeah. Here, I'll send you my podcast where we talk shit on you guys. Yeah. And it's funny because that was yesterday when she called me.
Tabs on us now.
Yeah. That was yesterday when she called me, and I had sent a long ass email on Saturday, like a super long email to them.
Strongly worded. Typos
12
everywhere.
font, Times New Roman.
MLA style.
And it's like multiple, it's really funny. It's multiple paragraphs long with a bunch of pictures, because this lady who I was talking to, she's like, why don't you type up an email for me explaining everything that's happened, explaining all your issues with the dryer, with this or that, all the issues you've had, stuff with the league. Like, explain what happened, send a bunch of pictures, explain where they are so they know, and so I can send it over to the only maintenance person there is. I was gonna say the head of the maintenance department, but there's only one. So I typed up a super long email, and at the end of it, I was like, this just really sucks, and it's really sad because I feel like
Carson.
I fucking hate you, because I feel like I've spent a lot for this place, and I even spent extra to get a fully renovated place, and I'm not sure why I'd be having issues with a place that I literally like straight up said the point of renovating is to fix everything that's broken. And so I sent them this super long email. I'm going to read it for you. That's good. Actually, I might want to read the last paragraph for you because it's kind of funny.
I kind of want to, hold on. I want to see it.
Okay. I'm pulling up I have to reopen my email. So, yeah.
Holy shit.
I typed it on my phone too, and it's all the pictures I sent them. The last one's my hard cock. My hard on. Yeah, so this is yeah. So let me go sit down and I'll read you the last part of it. Don't read anything yet. I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to screw the pooch for you. So my last paragraph which is the shortest paragraph out of them all. I said, I really do like my apartment a lot, and I very much enjoy blank blah, 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 name of the place, as a whole. So this is all very upsetting and a little aggravating that these issues seem to keep happening one after another. I was hoping a fully renovated apartment would not have any issues, since the point of renovating is to fix everything that was either broken or out of date. I feel that I pay a decent amount of money each month to not have these kind of issues, and even opted to pay more to have a fully renovated apartment. I hope this can get resolved as soon as possible and be the last of the issues. Thank you. Carson Wolf.
Well, I guess technically you're getting your money's worth because you're paying so much for it and you're getting all these free services.
Yeah, which is true. Like, thankfully, this isn't my own place, and I know my mom's always like, you spend that much for that place when you'd be spending the same amount on a house each month. And I'm like, yes, but then you have to you have to buy so many more appliances, and then you have to fix all the issues yourself or pay someone else to do it. Whereas I hear I might have to wait a fucking month, but at least I'm not paying for somebody to come do this or do that or whatever. So I'm thankful that it's not my place. What were you going to say? I'm sorry.
I was gonna say I think it's funny that, it's funny because you're like, well, I'm not gonna fix it.
I'm not going to fix it. I did.
Well,
I fixed one thing for the first time.
I will say that whenever my dad would try to fix anything in our house, Dad, if you're listening, I'm sorry, but he was like, did you ever watch the SpongeBob episode where like his cousin breaks everything that he touches?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that was my dad, and that's also me. Whenever it comes down to fixing things, we try to fix something and then we break it.
Yeah, I feel that.
It's just like, and then it's like, okay, well, we'll get somebody out here, and then it's like, not that it like costs any more money or anything differently.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of funny that I'm also susceptible to that, where it's just like I want to repair it, I want to fix it, and then I make it much worse than it has to be.
Well, that's me with car stuff. No, but like with apartments though, the thing is like you shouldn't fix it because no, I'm serious. You shouldn't fix it because if you fuck it up, then they'll be like, it wasn't like that when we put it in because we knew it was broken. No, I was kidding.
Yeah.
But they'll like, if you fuck it up, they're going to put the blame on you and then end up making you pay for it.
Right.
Whereas if it's like, listen, this shit just started happening or this cabinet wasn't attached fully, then they have to come out and fix it. Now,
like,
I did fix
no
something.
problem.
I did fix something for the first time. There was a cabinet that's been loose ever since I moved in.
You just wanted to take the strain off that one guy.
No, I was just like so fucking done. I was like, I'm not going to call them out here for this. And luckily I had my dad's drill here. There's a cabinet that's been loose ever since I moved in. And I was just opening it one day and like it literally just came off. And so I'm like, I'm so fucking done. So I took the drill and I just fucking put in 2 new holes. And I was like, perfect. And now it's fine. It's sturdy. I don't know how you can fuck up putting on cabinets, but that's the second cabinet that's done that.
Listen, cabinets are hard, Carson.
Mm.
Especially if you take them off forcefully like you did. Like, they weren't like that whenever they put those in, so.
You're right. So, getting back to my story that's definitely going on too long, and I'm going to try and hurry it up. Did it just get cold in here? So, fuck, I don't even... Yeah, so they're going to fix everything, whatever. Sent them the long... Oh, yeah, so I sent them the long email. And it's funny that I sent them this long email explaining the whole thing, but yet I still got a call from the lady who also got the email saying, so tell me again what happened with it. Because I ended up finding out that the head of the renovations team was with her, Fernando. I don't know why I'm just saying his name so openly, but I really don't fucking care. He's fine. He's a nice guy, even though I think the renovations team kind of fucked up my apartment. But that's fine. Fernando's a nice guy.
There's no such thing as a rush. You can't rush art.
There's no such thing as an old dog with new tricks.
Yep.
So I ended up finding out that he was there with her and he wanted to hear what happened. So she called me, had me explain what happened, told him because he wanted to check that apartment and find out where the leak was coming from. So he came down here, me expecting him to finally be installing my dryer. But he's like, he wanted me to show him where the leak was. And so I showed it to him. And then he's like, let me see your dryer hookup. Let me see if you have this part. And then he's like, he walks over there, and that's where the drain is. And he's like, you got water here too. And I was like, I know. I was like, I know. I think, and I explained him the whole story of that.
I know.
And then he's like checking the wall and everything. He's like, oh yeah, this wall's wet. He's like, there's definitely a leak back here. And I was like, yep. So that little leak that was coming out of there, there's a bigger leak behind the wall, and that's why there's water there. So he's like, I'll tell them that. and they can get a plumber out here. And then he came back later, and he's like, I told them, and they're going to get a plumber out here. I haven't seen a fucking plumber since.
Well, they're just going to start tearing down some walls. They're just going to make this. They're going to make your apartment a little bit bigger.
We're gonna open this place up a little bit. But I think
Let's
he was
open
like,
this pit up.
he was like, with the thing with the upstairs thing and with this stuff, I think his whole thing was that he was. My feeling is that the leasing office is like getting on his ass about like, why are you not fixing these things? Like, why is this guy having so many issues right when he just moved in? You guys are supposed to fix things. So I think they're trying to force the blame onto him whenever he's doing a fucking nice thing for them by installing my dryer. Even though I think they did fuck me over with some things, but that's besides the point.
It doesn't dry anything. It's still...
Dryer works fine. It's really nice. It's a really nice dryer.
But you can't do this to me.
That's what I'm saying. So I think they tried to force the blame on him, and then when he got here, he was like very on edge towards me, and he's like trying to like, in like a weird way, prove to me that those issues weren't there when they were renovating it. And I was just like, listen, I don't know what to tell you, because he was like,
You're
I went up there.
purposely sabotaging
like,
your walls.
Yeah, he's like, I went up there and I turned that faucet on, or I turned that valve on, and it was fine. He's like, it wasn't leaking. And I was like, I don't know. That's weird. I'm like, this is just what he told me. Not like I didn't fucking go up there into this apartment that I have no business being in and check it. I just had somebody tell me.
I think you did, buddy.
According to him, I did.
I think that you went upstairs, and you are purposely sabotaging. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm purposely sabotaging it. That's why I keep asking for things that I've bought and I need, instead of being like, could you guys just like knock off half of my rent for this month? Even though I should say that. Not that they would do that, but yeah. So it was just funny because he was like trying to prove it to me. And what I was going to say about the email is that when I so she told me to send the email, and she's like, I won't be able to send it to the lady on Monday anyways, but just go in and get it sent to me when you can. When she called me on Monday, she had completely forgotten that I was going to be sending her an email. And then the first thing she said when she opened, she's like, oh, wow, that's a long email. I was just like, I just started laughing. And then I was like, yep, sorry, it's long. It details everything and all my issues that I'm having and yada, yada. I don't think any of them have read it, by the way.
No, let me put it this way. I'm not surprised. I'm sorry that this happened to you.
It's fine. So just long story short, long story long, I am just in the process of waiting for them to fix the leak in there, hopefully stop that leak from ever happening again, and then fixing this wall in here and probably replacing the wall where the leak is.
They're gonna put some cigarettes in your wall like they left it in the mirror.
I hope so.
They're gonna put some secrets in there. You're gonna start smelling
secrets.
Yeah, and then whenever it leaks again, like they're gonna be like, they're gonna hand you the sledgehammer
there,
and then it's gonna be a gender reveal party.
They're gonna hand me a what?
They're gonna hand you a sledgehammer, and then you're gonna take down the drywall to replace it. And then
I have to replace it.
Yeah,
now.
you have to replace it because they did their job. Now it's your turn.
No, that makes sense.
And then it's gonna pop all blue, and they're gonna be like, "Surprise! You're having a boy!
It's a boy!"
Then you
My stomach goes.
Yeah, you puff out your stomach again.
Fuck. Yeah, so there's a lot more details to it, but that's all the bullet points and the funny stuff. I'm just waiting for walls to be fixed, other leak to be fixed.
Okay, so I wasn't saying that like I was waiting for this to happen, but I was expecting something to happen. I was like, this place looks really good, and I've not heard good things about this place.
Hope you not heard good things about it.
I haven't heard anything from a particular person, but I've heard that they're like, hey, this is too much for what you're getting.
Like somebody who said that, like
it was on Facebook. It was like,
don't
live
like
here.
You saw, yeah, I see. Here's the thing, real quick, not to go off on a tangent because I don't want to interrupt you. Is like, I think I've even said this to you before. Every single apartment you look at, they're all gonna have bad reviews because the only people leaving a review is if they've had a problem.
Well, yeah, I mean,
and I don't necessarily. Yeah, I don't necessarily think that means like, because like every single apartment I would look at, it was either like it'd have really good reviews, but it'd be like fucking astronomically expensive. It'd be really low rent and like not great reviews, or like right in the middle of my price point and still not really that great reviews. But it's just because people don't leave a review unless they have a bad experience, and that's why
Well, also you don't
rated so
have
horribly.
those are usually people who also leave. So what
Yeah.
you have is you have people who have been living here for years,
Yeah, there's
like
a lot
decades,
of people
I
living-
think,
yeah.
probably.
Yeah, they're the people with
Especially
trash
with
piling up.
yeah,
on their
I was about to
fucking
say.
lawn.
I was about to say. Did you notice that there was like just a lot of trash out over here?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, I was
That's
like,
the renovation team. They're just leaving trash, and that keeps blowing away. But also, there's a family that lives diagonal from me upstairs, and they just
also
like
their last
they
name
always
is this, their first name's this, and this is their
yeah,
apartment
and this
number.
is their apartment number. Thank you, Gavin.
Uh-huh.
And like every single day, there's a new piece of food outside, like either on the deck up there, or on the staircase, or at the bottom of the stairs, or like the Capri Sun wrappers coming from my next door neighbor, who they're like my fucking age, but yet I see Capri Suns outside of their plates all the fucking time. Hey, listen, no offense,
Hey,
but it's just very bizarre.
Hey, Capri Suns are pretty good.
Yeah. So what were you saying? You were saying something about you haven't heard good.
No, I
oh,
mean,
you're
I
waiting
just-
for this to happen.
Yeah, I wasn't waiting for this to happen, but also I was kind of anticipating something like this to happen because that also happened to my friends who not my friends, but I guess my friends, yeah, who live in those apartments I was looking at and said we couldn't live there with 3 people in a 2-bedroom apartment. And that apartment flooded like way worse than this. Like the whole floor, like the whole like it flooded everything. They had to take out every belonging
Well,
and
that's
basically
like-
move to a new one while
Was
they
it
renovated.
clean water though?
I'm pretty sure it was. It was just kind of
Good, because my brother Logan was living in a house in Hazelwood with one of his good friends, or his best friend, and his best friend's girlfriend, and they had shit water backing up into their bathtub.
sepsis.
Yeah, and they had
Septic
to
tank.
because when that
Sepsis is a disease.
when it is when that happens, as Logan told me, you literally first of all you have to move out, because depending on how much brown water there is, that's ruined everything, and they have to gut everything. But when you're living on the bottom floor and that starts coming up, that's a problem with plumbing in the ground, and they literally have to dig into the ground to fix it. So they had to move out of there, like I think like that next day or something. And then it ended up being that his friend and his girlfriend moved somewhere else in this area, and the place they moved into, like a week after they moved in, same thing happened. Like literally,
I
like
don't know,
not
it
even
sounds
joking.
like his best friend has got a
stroke of bad luck.
and has got some massive logs he is clogging his septic tank with.
Probably is. So, yeah. Again, I was just like,
But because girls don't poop, that's
Yeah.
why I'm saying that.
and my brother Logan is like super, as he will say, and I'm not just saying this, is like super sensitive, like plumbing issues now. Like he moved into this new place that he's living at, and that night his toilet backed up, and he was like, it gave him so much anxiety, because he was like, I am so fucking nervous. This is another issue, but it ended up being fine. But
Yeah, somehow I haven't, knock on wood here, but I haven't had many.
logs.
Yeah. Speaking of logs, no, I was kidding. I told you before the show what I was gonna say. Well, I was just about
Yes,
to say,
yeah.
but yeah. Yeah, I knock on wood, but I haven't had like many plumbing issues at all ever, really, to be honest with you.
Well, did you ever have any issues like with your dorm room at all that you had to like call somebody to come fix?
Oh yeah, that was just 'cause my shower. It was mainly just my shower. 'Cause
What happened with your shower?
it started to flood because all of our hair just started to get caught, and that was a common
Oh.
issue around that time of year.
Yeah,
I'm not sure why, but like everybody's showers were like starting to flood and
Yeah.
like get all caught up with hair.
I'm very.
We had more heating and cooling issues, which I'm surprised that your heater. I was kind of waiting for your heater or your AC to go out.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. It's like I'm like, well, no, that has to do with other things. Yeah, I'm nervous about that too, just because of the rickety.
Yeah, it looks like a
Humpty
graveyard
Dumpty's
of
wall.
Yeah, it looks like a graveyard of AC units.
This place is so funny. And actually, real quick, they ended up finally power washing the siding
Oh.
of my building.
They're listening.
They must be, because they finally did that. I still have a fucking vacant fountain in my courtyard. The thing that's so funny about this place is like they try so hard to make any areas that somebody could see who's coming to visit look very nice, but anything like when you live here, like they don't give a shit about. Like there's just this like vacant fountain that's like paint's all chipped off of it. Like all this sidewalk around here is absolutely mismatched and looks horrible. And like you said, there's just trash all in this like breezeway that leads out into my courtyard, and like, but yet I'll see them picking up trash like everywhere up in the parking lot and towards the entrance, but they don't ever come down here to pick it up. So
That's a lot of work, especially if they're already doing it. That's just a lot of work, you know.
yeah, it's just it's a funny place. That's what I was thinking. I wish I lived right next to the model apartment, because I'm sure they keep that area really clean. Well, yeah, this thing spun all the way around, didn't it?
You just got really. You got really anxious.
Another thing. Actually, do you have anything you want to talk about? Because we're
No,
almost an
I
hour
really
and I'm
don't-
dominating this whole
I
show
really
again.
don't have anything new. It's just kind of been work,
How's
work.
Yeah, how's that been going? Any new?
Well, I've had a revelation
Stories?
that I don't really like working at CVS right after the hospital job.
And why is that?
There's just something about it. I will say it's been going a little bit smoother because I know how to work things now. It's just now I have that responsibility on top of me, and now since I know how to do it,
Oh,
I don't have to like ask for somebody else's help, and then it's just there's a lot
It's
of pressure.
more on you.
Yeah, it's a
It's
lot
like
of pressure.
double you.
Yeah, and also like I said, maybe I didn't say this at all, but we've just for some reason we've had a lot of floaters where it's like these traveling pharmacists. They only come here for like a day, or they stay like a couple. I'm not kidding.
That's so funny. A traveling pharmacist.
Yeah, they're like, well, I
Think
mean,
about
they're called
someone selling
floaters.
snake
They're
oil.
called floaters, but
I
like,
have a floater in my eye.
yeah, and
Got anything for
they
that?
for some reason, and I understand it's June and like some insurance companies are starting to flip, and new insurance is starting to kick in and
Mhm.
whatnot. But the floaters have straight up just not been running insurance on any drugs, like at all.
Shit.
And that is a 5.5 minute process to kind of get through everything, especially if we have that's the thing, is that we have every record of every insurance they've ever had if they've ever checked out at CVS.
Yeah.
But it's like, sometimes, they have a new one. So it's like, okay, do you have your new insurance card? And they're like, no, it's too new. And so then we're like, okay, well, we're just going to do some things. And then like we kind of just do it. But it takes forever.
Mhm.
And you can't click on the program. There's no clicking on the program. You have to keyboard type everything and then hit enter.
God.
So it's like a terminal. I'm not kidding. It's not fun. And for some reason, the floaters just like whenever the pharmacist is supposed to verify something, they just straight up do not check to see if they have any insurance. So whenever the patients get up to the window and get to the drive-through or get up to the front, I'm like, the price is like $75, for example. And they're like, whoa, hey, that's a lot more than I usually pay. And I'm like, hold on. I look down and there's a section on all your medication or any medication you see. It'll say like what insurance was billed, and it'll say like no insurance was billed. And I'm like, why the fuck was this not billed?
Yeah.
Like if they have insurance and they want to use it, the worst that could happen is that it gets rejected, and then we get to tell the patient that. If we don't run it, then we have to wait for it to go through, and we have to, then we have to reprint a label. It has to get re-verified by the pharmacist. It may have to get recounted, and then the pharmacist verifies it, then they staple it, and then we can check it out again.
Yeah. So
it's
they're
just
just being lazy.
Yeah, and it's just so annoying as a technician because it feels like something I could do. It's something that I can do. I
you
can look
can't.
at it, and I can't. And I think eventually, we're supposed to be getting some kind of new system with that. I'm not sure exactly the hard details about it, but I think we're getting it tomorrow on Wednesday, allegedly. But yeah, I've actually had almost a whole week off of CVS, and I think that it's just
nice.
I
You have
just
this
kinda
week
ni-
off?
That
Or you've,
I've
like,
had,
had
from
a-
Thursday
yeah.
to Thursday. I've had off
Nice.
from CVS, so it's kind of nice to just have that and
Mhm.
kind of have some nights. But it's really these are really short nights. So I'm telling you, these are go by really fast.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's just we also got like a new computer system at the hospital, so I have to relearn. Like I just got done training with that, but now I have to relearn everything and like how to use it backwards and forwards so that I can basically, if someone is not getting trained or is new and they haven't gotten trained on it, then I should be able to explain that to them, even though
Jesus.
and they so yeah, so it's kind of fun.
Sounds like a blast.
Yeah, and I actually found out to get, like I said, I think I said this last week, but to get certified in IV, you have to like pass the fingerprint test, and you have to get, but at
Yeah.
least at our hospital, you have to get fingerprinted, and then you have to make sure that like you're injecting it sterile. You have
Yeah.
to, no germs in
Sterile crow.
no germs in your bags, so to speak.
Don't put any germs in your
No,
bags.
mm-mm. And so, with that, I got retested today.
Damn it! I keep knocking my fucking water over.
That's
That's what it kind of looked like in my closet.
Nice.
Waddle. Just keep talking. I'm gonna clean that up.
So yeah, they had me redo that today, and it's still not a lot of fun to
Doesn't sound like it.
prep for an IV room. It's supposed to be really sterile, so finally got that done. But the error was that the person from the company that was supposed to be testing us on that originally had us do the fingerprinting not in a HEPA hood.
What does that mean?
Like the like a sterile air hood. He was doing it where we prepped and like had all those particles in the air. And like people were washing their hands and stuff like that, and like things were moving around.
So what are the fingerprints for?
It's not really fingerprints. It's not really fingerprints per se, but I have gloves on, and it's just to test and see if I'm going to be bringing germs in on my gloves. Basically.
Okay. I thought you were saying like, for some reason in my mind, I thought you were saying like, you had to get like fingerprints to prove something, and I was like,
I guess it's not really fingerprinting, but you have to put on these gloves a certain way, and you have to do all that
okay.
stuff. And then you put all 5 of your fingers on a small petri dish, like just the tips of your fingers. So fingertip testing. I
Okay.
guess.
Okay.
I keep thinking fingerprinting, but I think they do say finger tipping, so to speak.
So what is this to do with the IVs? What are you?
This is just making sure that I'm not bringing germs in and like, not.
So you're gonna make the IVs?
Yeah,
correct?
technicians actually
Okay.
do that.
Oh.
The pharmacist only verifies it,
We
which
could put
is
some fun stuff in there.
which is actually kind of weird to me.
Oh,
I
they don't
always-
even. So you just like you can just make it and be like, trust me, it's got claxpaxinil in it,
Yeah, basically, yeah.
and they'll be like, okay,
It's
I
got
have to trust you.
clovulin nab.
Clog your nab.
Uh-huh.
Clog your nab. Yeah, that's true. Well, that's cool. So can you do that now? Are you
We
done
have
with
to
that?
wait for the results to get back.
Okay.
Gotta wait for my
Think you're
lab
gonna
results.
pass?
I told them, I said, I hope so.
I told them when you asked. I hope so.
But I don't even know if I'm going to get trained in that ever because it's not on the schedule yet. So
Oh, fun.
guess we'll never know.
Are you still like off a random week in July?
No, I found it. That was supposed to be this week.
Oh.
I was just further up the schedule than wherever they had me.
Okay. When do you switch over to? You switch over to nights here soon, right?
I think so. Question mark? I don't know. I have
They
to
still haven't
ask.
told you.
I keep forgetting to ask, and I keep
I feel
saying
like I remember that being like next week or the week after.
I think it's 2 weeks from now. But I'm gonna ask and see if I can just stay on day shift because I have
Yeah.
everything kind of worked out like that. My sleep schedule even is like that. Like I said I was gonna sleep in Saturday
Mm-hmm.
and slept in at first till like 10. Like I was just kind of like, oh okay. So I was up for a little bit and I fell back asleep. Then I woke up and I fell back asleep. So it was like I originally had woke up at 10 o'clock. Like no problems. I felt fine.
Yeah.
But I was like I went to bed at 3 a.m.
Oof.
I cannot do this today. So.
Dude, my sleeping schedule is fucked right in the ass. I don't have a good sleeping schedule at all. It's
Nope,
so
I'm
bad.
pretty set, but it's just really hard to wake up at 6 a.m. Just not fun.
I wish I could do. I just can't. Like I
I
try.
can't either, but I do it.
I wish I could. Like I hate that I can't. And like I know my issue right now is that I just need to get to bed earlier, but it depresses me so much to think that I need to go to bed at like 10 or 11.
Yeah, I know that's
Like I like staying up till like midnight or 1, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
like I wish it could be like fall asleep at 11 every night, but then on the weekends like I could stay up till whenever and then like not completely fuck my sleeping schedule
yeah.
over.
That is exactly. That's actually what happened this weekend. Is I didn't fuck
Yeah.
up my sleep schedule, but I stayed up really late. I don't know how it happened, but I just woke up. I just was kind of tired all day anyway.
and I just I
Sitting
don't know
down,
what to do.
sitting down is actually just really tiring for some reason to me.
Oh well, yeah, for me too it'd be the same thing.
It's like, well, I wasn't even saying. I wasn't even like. I was trying to get off of my feet all weekend,
Yeah.
so bowling did not help with that. But it was still a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun bowling.
It was fun. It was a good time. Yeah, like I found like this morning I was supposed to get up at 8 And then like my alarm went off, and I was like, oh, I'll just wait for the snooze to go off. And then it was like 9 o'clock when I woke up, and I was like, oh my God. And then I was like, I've been so tired today, but like I've got my energy in the afternoon, and I'm like better now. I'm still tired, but not as tired as I was.
Nights are where I just get all my energy. But
Yeah, same.
I think, like I said, I think
So I go to bed at fucking 1 a.m.
That's what. Yeah. No, I go to bed. I actually am probably gonna go to bed in like an hour and a half from now. What I mean, it's just because like
Wish
I just need to.
I need to as well, but I still don't. It's because
I
I don't
don't,
work a real
then-
job, and I have
It's like you're working DoorDash.
yeah, and I can slack, but like I don't want to slack, but I also like I have this like issue where like I get like super like depressed and like anxious and upset with myself when I'm late to places, to the point where like I just have to like tell myself, I'm like, it's okay that you're late. It's fine. Just calm down. It's fine. But
Yeah,
like,
but Carson, just know that it's not okay whenever you're late to picking me up or doing anything with me. Okay?
well, you tell my brain that, because my brain already thinks that, and I get really horribly anxious and like in a weird headspace when that happens, because it happens all the time, in case you didn't know. And when I'm late for working at these places, because some of them are time sensitive, I'm just like, it's okay. You are fine.
yeah.
I have to keep reminding myself, I'm like, you have plenty of stuff. You don't even need to go do this. Just try and fix it tomorrow. And then it never ends up getting fixed.
But it's just one of those things where, you know, the world will keep on going even if you're a little late. Not a big deal.
Yeah, I just need to get better about not being... I just need to get better about managing my time, which I've talked about before. And I managed my time pretty well at the podcast today. I got everything ready and set up, and we were good to go. You were the one that was late.
I was late because I
which is
wanted to take a
fine.
nap.
Gavin, if you're ever late, I literally have no room to talk about you being late, and I would never be mad at you for it.
Yeah, I was actually late, and Carson gave me a gift
I
for
gave him
it.
a shirt. I was like, Gavin, I'm so thankful you're
Yeah.
late, and I'm not the one who fucked up this time, so here's a shirt.
But yeah, I'm really excited to have this shirt.
I need to see that movie.
It's a
M.
really
Night
good movie.
Shyamalan and Lamb, Signs
Yeah.
by M. Night Shyamalan and Lamb.
It's a good movie. He's
I
in
didn't
it.
see it. Yeah, I knew that. I did know that. I know things about the movie, just never seen it.
I saw that at a way too young of an age.
Sounds about right.
That actually it still is one of my favorite movies. It's just a really well done film in my opinion. It's a little outdated, like some of the effects are kind of outdated, but
Sounds about right.
I
definitely want to see
This
it.
is my last thought.
Podcast ever.
Yeah, this is my last thought on it. Just on the podcast today.
Oh, you're wrapping things up. Just kidding.
No,
We need to.
Yeah. I watched it way too young, so what I would do is I would turn off the lights and like in my living room, and then I'd run as fast as I can up to my room. I was just so
Oh,
scared of the
after you're
dark.
done watching it?
No, I mean years
Because of that.
because of that, I was so scared of the dark. There's a scene in there where like the alien's hands look
Oh, it's an alien.
Yeah, it's an alien, yeah.
Melvy.
and
Oh, it's not a horror, though. It's a drama, mystery, and sci-fi.
Yeah, it's a suspenseful movie.
Suspense. It's all.
It actually is pretty good. I just remembered a couple really good parts. of it.
Oh, Joaquin's in it.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
What?
and Mel Gibson.
Yeah. I saw that. I didn't know Joaquin was in that. Oh, and Rory Culkin is in it. Macaulay Culkin's brother. Oh, he's not up there anymore. He has a Macaulay Culkin has a brother, Rory.
What's he look like?
who- He looks exactly like Macaulay Culkin, but with long hair.
Didn't even notice.
And Rory was he's in Scream 4 too? I didn't know that. Rory was, here's a little Home Alone fun fact for you. You know the kid, I can't remember his name, which is sad because I love that movie. You know the kid who he doesn't want to sleep with because he always wets the bed?
Honestly, I've never watched Home Alone all the way.
You're
through.
fucking me in the ass. We're going to watch Home Alone
Not a
this
big
year.
fan. I'm just.
I love, dude. It's one of my Home Alone or Home Alone 2 are like two of my favorite movies in the world. Like, not even joking.
Not a lot of.
I love, dude. They make me
I'm
so
sure-
happy.
I'm sure it was really good whenever I was a kid, but now it's just like not
Oh,
good.
it's still good for me. I still love it. But there's a kid in the movie who Macaulay Culkin's character doesn't want to sleep with because he always wets the bed, and that's his brother.
I don't want to sleep with him. He always
much.
wets the bed.
Yeah. you sure you haven't seen the movie? So, yeah, I need to watch Signs.
It was
Signs of the
on
Times.
all the time, I think, on FX.
Probably.
It was
That
on
and,
all the time. And
Third
I would
Element or
always
whatever
turn
it's
it on
called.
just because it was like, it was just one of those good films. It's right up there
Fifth
with
Element. Sorry, my bad.
Sixth Sense.
Sixth Sense. That's a
Is that what?
good one.
What's the?
I was talking about The Fifth Element, which is another sci-fi movie, I think. And then there's one that somebody was talking about a lot on a podcast, and I can't remember what the fuck it's called. It's another sci-fi alien movie.
Sixth Sense was the other M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh, okay, yeah, I have seen that. It's okay. I get
that's
Sixth
one of
Sense
those-
and Seven mixed up.
Sixth
Seven's
Sense,
really good, even though it
Sixth
has...
Sense is one of those like. It's in that same boat as it's because it's both M. Night Shyamalan, so it has kind of the same feel to it. But
Yeah.
there's
There's
no
some scary shit in that movie.
I know. Whenever I first
With
saw
the
that movie,
kid in
the
room
yeah,
and the
shotgun,
thing and...
the shotgun in the back, whenever he got shot in the back of the head.
Oh, yeah.
That freaked me the fuck out.
And he goes in the room. Dude,
Yeah.
I
That part
watched that
freaked me
movie for the
out.
first time, I think a year or two ago, and like that scared me then. And I
Yeah.
was like, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, Sign's a really good movie.
I'll have to watch it. Yeah, I get. Fuck, man, I really wish I could remember this fucking alien movie that people were talking about and came out in like the 80s.
Mars Attacks.
No, Mars Attacks is a horrible movie.
It's the
It
funniest
sucks.
joke movie I've ever seen.
I really don't. I think I went into it having really high expectations about it because I was really excited about it, and I was just like,
I just remember watching it on a snow day on the weekend or something like that. It snowed and like everybody was outside, and I was like, I'm just gonna watch it.
I love. Yeah, I love everybody who's in it,
Yeah.
and like, but I wish I didn't know it was a joke movie.
Yeah.
So I watched it and I was like,
This
oh,
is awful.
man.
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson's in this movie and it's a joke. It's fine. I mean, just the cast is really fun and yeah, man, I just don't remember what this movie is and it's gonna drive me up the wall. Yeah. Speaking of movies, I went to the drive-in, as I was telling Gavin earlier, by myself, humble brag. We're making a lot of funny jokes about
Being alone.
being alone at a drive-in, which is definitely something no one ever does ever.
Don't do it again.
I'll probably do it again at some point.
You should.
was fine.
I just wish we could have gone Saturday.
Yeah, so why we didn't go is because they were showing the Florida Georgia Line concert.
You sure you didn't want to go?
Nope. And then the other screen was showing Peter Rabbit and something else.
You sure you didn't want to go?
No. We'll go some other time. We'll go, whenever they
What
show
did you think of
something
Quiet
good.
Place 2?
It was good. I
heard it was short.
No, not really.
My parents were surprised that it was that short. Or my
Oh.
sister was. She
I
was like,
didn't
that was really short.
feel like it was that short. I was just so A Quiet Place 2 was supposed to come out like the weekend the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
And then it didn't. And I don't remember when the first Quiet Place came out, but it came out long ago enough that they like reshot, or I would assume they probably didn't reshoot it. They probably just took cuts from the old movie that they didn't put in the first one and put it into this to kind of like show a preview of like what happened in the first one so you can remember what happens in this one. Which
And
like
did you think that was pointless or?
so I didn't think it was pointless because it was good for me because I can't okay, I didn't even figure out when it came out. I
think it
saw
was
A Quiet
2018.
Place. Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was way longer ago than that.
No. I think it was 2018.
I thought hold on, of course it's showing me the second one. I thought it came out like God, why is this not fucking showing up? Yeah, 2018, really. Holy shit. Okay, so then that kind of changes a lot of things because I thought it came out like 2016 or something. So, I mean, that's not even that. That's only, 3 years ago? See, like, in my head, that, like, made sense to me because I thought the movie came out longer ago. And I was like, that's good that they're refreshing our minds about it because we didn't see that happen. And well, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I think they were showing more of like a different perspective of things we didn't see in the first one. Maybe it's been a long time since I've seen the first one, because as far as I know, this is the first time. I don't want to ruin it. This is the first time you see something that you didn't see before. Like I don't in the first one. You've seen the first one, obviously.
Mhm.
Did
I
you ever
kind of wish
see?
that the monster was revealed later.
Did you in the first one? Did we ever see where the monsters came from,
No. Well,
or did we? I don't see. This is the
I
part
thought
where,
it was in my, maybe I'm just getting it mixed up with like, oh, what's that other film? It's by J.J. Abrams and
Cloverfield.
Yeah, Cloverfield.
Mhm.
Maybe I'm getting it mixed up with this, but I think they came from the sea.
No.
No, okay. Because there was something there was
No.
like a newspaper that like floated over the screen or something like that, and it's like they're coming from the sea or something like that.
Yeah, I don't remember which one that was in. It could have been. I don't know, but I feel like maybe this is the first time
This
where
is
we
like
see
a
where they came
backstory,
from.
yeah.
Yeah, but it
Not
like
really
still
backstory,
it
but-
still like starts at like that beginning part where like you first see the monster or monsters. So it kind of gives you like a little bit of backstory, and then it picks up from where the last one ended, where spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the first one, John
John
Krasinski's
Krasinski
character
dies.
dies. So it picks up from there, which I completely forgot that he
I-
died.
You know,
I
a whole
completely
sequence
forgot.
that I forgot in that movie was whenever they got stuck in the or the silo. I forgot about that for a long time.
Yeah, and I thought where it picked up. It was confusing to me because I thought that we were still in the where it picked up from scene because the deaf girl was like on top of the corn silo, and I was like, but they fell through that.
Mm.
So was confused by that, and I thought it was still part of the backstory, but it wasn't. It was picking up from where it ended.
Yeah, they did
and-
start. They ended up there.
Yeah. So it picked up from there.
Well,
and then
actually, it ended like in their basement. So I'm sure. I think.
yeah, I don't even see it, and I don't even know. I can't remember where the first one ended.
Yeah,
'Cause there
it
was
in the
things that-
basement or in the top.
Yeah, because there was things that happened that I definitely remember seeing in the first one.
Yeah.
And so I'm very I don't know where it picked up from after it showed that like backstory at the beginning,
There's 4 movies that are very similar to this movie. It's Cloverfield.
which I haven't seen the original one. I saw the
Cloverfield's actually
newest
pretty
one.
good. I like Cloverfield.
My favorite podcast that I listen to all the time that I've talked about before, their first podcast that they ever did was about Cloverfield.
Nice.
Fun fact.
Cloverfield, Super 8,
Never
Stranger Things,
heard of it.
Season
Stranger Things?
1.
Yeah.
And A Quiet
Godzilla
Place. And A Quiet Place all kind of
Bird
have like
Box.
that same.
and Bird Box.
I haven't seen Bird Box, but
It was decent.
I
good.
I just remember everybody was like, "Oh, Bird Box."
I don't think you need to watch it
Yeah.
anymore. It's one of those where it's like it was a sign of the time, and it's
Yeah.
like you would never rewatch Tiger King for any reason.
What are you talking about? I watched it the other day. No, I was kidding.
I watched it for the 5th time.
I watched it for the first time. No, I was kidding. I haven't watched it though.
You
But
didn't watch it at all?
nope. I remember
Oh,
you telling me
should've.
to.
You don't need to anymore.
But all 4 of those movies kind of have like the same, like in my opinion, the same monster.
Yeah.
Where it's like, and it gets me every time. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
you know, it's like, oh, I want to see what it
Oh,
looks
and
like.
like I Am Legend too.
Yeah, it's like I want to
That's
see what it
another
looks
one.
like. I want to see what it looks like. Like, okay, and then they reveal it, and then it's like, oh my god, this is hideous, and it's like, oh my god, what are we gonna do
Yeah.
about it? You know?
And like in Cloverfield, as far as I know, they don't really like show the monster like
No, it's
that
just
much at all.
it's just that big.
yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
I think Super 8 was like a spin-off of Cloverfield.
Okay. I don't know. I don't even know if I've heard of that.
It was like a different monster, but in the same universe.
There's like a really old movie that's called Super 8, so that's what I'm thinking of, but I know it's not
I
that.
think that was the first time I ever heard "fuck" in a movie, and I remembered hearing it.
I think the first time I heard no, never mind. I don't know when the first time I heard fuck. It's probably in like X-Men or something.
It came out in 2011. God damn.
That was before Cloverfield then.
Yeah. No, it was
No,
after.
Cloverfield was 2006 or 8.
Yeah, 2008, I think.
Yeah, so it was good, and it picks up from there. And another
2008.
reason why I think they did the backstory is because there's like a scene in that backstory where like this character who I'm sure you heard a little bit of in the first movie, they show him more because he ends up coming up later in further down in the movie. And so like that's another reason I think they showed this backstory, but I don't know. A part of me liked it because I needed it. And then a part of me is like, man, if I watch these 2 movies like later on down the line, I don't want to watch the first one and then watch the second one and be like, already seen all of this. Like I just hope that when they come out with the digital release that like that scene is not there anymore.
I'm sorry. Which scene?
The backstory scene.
Oh, yeah.
Because like again, like you needed to see it to remember things that happened, to see things that you didn't see before, and to see this character that ends up playing a huge role
And
in the rest of the movie.
That's what my dad said, is that he was like, I'm glad they included that because I don't remember that.
Yeah, and like you end up finding out that you didn't need it, but again, like when you're watching this movie in like
and
10
also
years,
you could have you could have walked into this movie and not seen the first one.
yeah,
That's what basically it is, and then you would have been like,
you-
"Where's John
you could've.
Krasinski?"
yeah.
Basically, you're like, "Hey, where's John?
Where is he?
Where's
Wait,
Jim from The
and
Office?"
and it was also confusing me because like I said, I forgot that his character had died, because there's like they also played like a preview thing where John Krasinski's like, "Thank you for coming out and watching our movie,"
yeah,
and then I was like, "Wait a minute, he's not even fucking in
Yeah.
this. Why
He
did he do
directed
that?"
it.
Oh yeah, he directed it and wrote it,
Yeah.
which I didn't find out until the end, or I didn't remember until the end, and I was like,
Until
"Oh,
I saw
cool.
the credits, and I was like, "Hey, that's Jim from The Office."
Hey Jim, he wrote a movie."
So yeah,
Which now that makes more sense why he did that. So, yes, it was good. I enjoyed it, and I was trying to think if there's anything else I had to say about it. Yeah, it was just a good, solid, not solid sequel. I would say there's still some issues that I had with it, and like
well,
you
you're
said,
a
it
Martin
was kind of
Scorsese fan, so
well, yeah, Goodfellas. So there was things in it that like I did feel like happened too fast. Like there's a scene where like I won't ruin it for you, I promise, because I know you're gonna see it.
eventually,
There's like a scene where they get to this place where like everything's perfect, and then like literally within like a few minutes, like probably 12 hours time in the movie, everything immediately goes to shit, and you're like, they just
you're like
got
The Walking
there.
Dead.
Nothing has ever happened at this place.
That's exactly what The Walking Dead was like.
Yeah, nothing has ever happened at this place, but now it's gone to shit.
Yep.
And there's like other things where it's like these characters at this place like did this whole riddle for people to get there instead of just saying to get there. And I think it was
They
because
didn't want the monsters to hear.
well, they didn't want the bad people to get there. But then it's like the bad people could solve the riddle just as easily as these people could, and it's just like I don't know. It's just
Red
like
herring.
it's just very like why. And then
No,
when they
Carson,
get there,
you
it's
don't
like
understand. The bad people don't know how to read.
when they get there, well, it's not even reading. It's just listening to something and solving a riddle. And it's like, and like I said, when they get there, it's like, oh, finally, they finally got here. And then it's like, oh, never mind, you don't get it. And I'm trying to even remember how it ended. I don't even remember. I couldn't even tell you how it ended. I honestly forgot. Not that I'm going to say how it ended, but I'm just trying to remember. Have you seen any of the Conjuring movies at all? They're okay. I was really excited. So Conjuring 3 played and then Quiet Place 2. I had never given a shit about any of the Conjuring movies. Could not fucking care less about any of them. Never ever cared about them. One night I was in my bed watching a YouTube video and the Conjuring 3 trailer played before. And like its opening scene for the trailer like roped me in immediately. Like I loved it. I was like, what is this fucking movie? What is going on? And so I watched the whole trailer, which I never do. And then I was like, are all the Conjuring movies that good? Because that looks fucking amazing. And so immediately I was like, when can I go see it? And then I found out they're showing it at the drive-in, so I'm like, I got to go see it there. Because otherwise they're showing it on like Hulu, so I was going to watch it there. Excuse me. And so I was like, do I need to watch the first two before I watch this one? And I found out that you don't, but I was like, I have time. They have both of them on Netflix. So Saturday night, literally this past Saturday, I watched both of them in the same night. And I like them, but I wasn't like, I don't love them. Like I have issues with them. And like they're not what I was expecting them to be, and they're not as scary as I wanted them to be, which I know everyone's like, oh, that movie wasn't even scary. But it's like, I just think that like after seeing Hereditary, like I compare everything to that because like that movie will always haunt me. And like just like everything I feel like needs to be on or near that level, or at least have something in it that's near that level. But it's like all the movies kind of have the same structure. They all start the same with like a little like weird side story. Then they get into the main story. And then they end with like the same way.
New house.
Literally, they all, dude, it's so funny.
That's
I don't know
just how
what the
Insidious
guys
started too.
I haven't seen the Insidious movies either. the main character, or one of the main characters who plays Ed Warren. What is his name? Gosh damn it! Why does this take so long? Why is everything a pain in my ass?
Stop it. Get some help.
Hold on, I gotta figure out what his name is. Why is this being so stupid to show me these things? Oh, Patrick Wilson, is that his name?
Nope.
Is that the guy's name? Is that who I'm thinking of? Wow. Yeah, Patrick Wilson. It's funny because like at every single movie, I was literally gonna make a tweet where I was like, the Conjuring films are all just Patrick Wilson trying to open a door. Because every single movie, multiple times, it's him trying to open a door. Because for whatever reason, the spirit that has entered a person's body or a house is able to keep doors shut very tightly. And so it's always him like, okay, like he tells everyone to get out of the way, and then he's like, "Urgh, urgh,
Make a supercut of all of those.
I want to because there's just so many. But yeah, so I had high expectations for it after seeing the Conjuring 3 trailer. And they were all good, and they all had scary elements to it. I think the first one was my favorite out of all of them. And like there's Conjuring 1, 2, and 3, but then they all have like side movies, like the Annabelle story, then the Witch story, and then there's another one I never even heard of.
Cabin in the Woods.
Cabin in My House. There's one called Our House is in the Middle of the Street.
Uh-huh. By Madness.
By Madhouse.
Yeah.
Anyways,
so
those were good. I enjoyed them. Not my favorite films in the world, but yeah. What are you laughing about?
No, we're going on long.
We're going on long. Yeah, well, let's should we do it, or do you have something else you want to talk about?
No, that's it. I was just kind of curious. I was ready to pick your brain on those movies.
Dominate me. Pick my brain anytime, Gavin. I'll let you.
So, Carson.
Do you have any interest in seeing any of the Conjuring movies?
I do, but I might just fall asleep to them, to be honest with you.
You need to watch Hereditary before you watch anything else from here on out. I'm going to take
yeah.
Give me your phone. Give me your phone. I see it. Give me it. Give it to me. You're not getting it back until you watch Hereditary. Okay? You got that?
You're grounded.
You're grounded until you watch this movie.
You're gonna Clockwork Orange me.
That's what I'm gonna do to my kids.
Yeah.
You give me your fucking phone until you watch Goodfellas with me. You're gonna sit down and watch Goodfellas with me, and you're gonna watch it.
And then you're gonna watch the Martin Scorsese interview where he calls Marvel movies Disney rides.
You pull out your fucking Game Boy one time, you're grounded.
And then you're gonna watch all the Marvel movies with me.
And then we're gonna watch the whole X-Men series.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Carson, what you listening to this week?
Well, Gavin, what you listening to is a segment we do on every show. In case you didn't know what you should by now, you dumb fuck. Where Gavin and I recommend music, typically albums, sometimes a song that we've been listening to a lot recently. And last week we did one with our pal Johnny. If you want to go check that out, see what we suggested, you should. And this week I am suggesting an album from a band that I would consider in like my top 5 favorite bands, even though it kind of gets switched out every once in a while, but I would say they're like they have a solid state in my top 5. And that's a band, Under Oath, which I might have talked about before.
Yeah, you definitely have recommended something by them.
I haven't recommended anything by them, but I've brought them.
Yeah, you've talked.
I talked about them when I talked about that Deftones album, because this album that I'm actually suggesting was very much inspired by Deftones and Diamond Eyes, that album. And you can hear it if you listen to the songs. And that's an album called Disambiguation by Under Oath.
And you may have actually played some of it for me before.
It's possible. It's possible. I've been into Under Oath for a very long time. Because of my brother, and their drummer is like a music idol to me because he's also the singer, and he's like an amazing singer,
Phil
but also
Collins.
like he is Phil Collins, and he's also an amazing drummer. Like some of the shit he does is just like it really hurts your head to figure out how he's doing that and singing at the same time. And so like I've always just been like super drawn into him because he's just amazing. But the funny thing is that this is the first and only album with that drummer and singer not on it. Because he left the band in like the year before, or maybe even in 2010, and just like went like super Christian, and like even made like his own Christian music. And it's funny because Under Oath started out as a Christian rock band, which if you hear
They
their
were
music,
Skillet.
like heavier Skillet, like it's screamo Skillet, and you'd hear their music and be like, they're a Christian band. They're not anymore. When they rejoined, they ended up saying, we're not Christian anymore. Like, please stop calling us a Christian band. We don't want to be a Christian band. And like their first album,
Under
like,
Heavenly Oath.
yeah, that's what Under Oath stands for. I mean, under God's oaths.
Yeah.
Quaker Oath.
Quaker Oath.
Quaker Oath. Mike Tyson.
Yeah. Oath.
Yeah, so this is the first album without him on it, which is interesting because it's probably their least popular album because of that reason, but also like I just think everybody remembers their first two, you could even say first three albums. And I remember like their first album is my all-time favorite album by them just because of the memories I have associated with it. And it's just like I can listen to that whole album through and I love every single song.
Yeah.
But I when I got back, I like every couple of years I'll get back into them, but I think this year like they're here to stay. And I got back into them back in December because they released they released their first three albums, but a live version that they streamed back in November or something.
Mm.
So they did like a live stream where they replayed all of those songs. Like they did each album like all the way through, took a break, did the next album all the way through, and then the next album all the way through. And I got like super into those live albums because I think they're way better than the originals. But so I just got like super into listening to those, and then I started going back through their catalog and listened to this album, which I had never listened to because I had no interest in it because it doesn't have that drummer singer guy on it. But then I listened to it and I'm like, this album's fucking really, really good. And
do they sound different without him, or?
Yes. It's like their first album is very much like screamo, emo,
Christian.
Not really. There's only like one song that you consider like a Christian rock song. I mean, you wouldn't even. I really like that song, and I hate Christian rock. As a Christian, I fucking hate Christian rock. And you just listen to this. Sorry, camera shut off. I'm just gonna leave it off. I don't feel like restarting again because we're gonna be done here soon. Yeah, like their first album's very like emo, screamo, but not like melodic. Whereas this album's like melodic, like Deftones, and the lead singer or lead vocals guy who usually does screaming is also singing a lot on this album, and he doesn't have the greatest voice, but he sounds good on this album. But yeah, it's just more like melodic, heavy stuff, deeper stuff, because this is when the lead singer was like at his like worst in his drug addiction and like alcohol addiction, and so it's kind of like very depressing.
Perfect.
I mean, it's not really depressing. Like there's some songs that are, but it's just like you can feel like the heavy. It's just heavier altogether.
Yeah.
And they were just like as a band, like they did this album and then like they went on like a short tour, or they canceled the rest of the tour and then broke up for like 4 years, and they got back together again, same lineup, and like have been made an album, and I think they're going to be releasing one here soon.
Good.
So some songs I'd recommend off there, like this is an album, I know you always talk about this, where like it's backloaded, where the back half is way better than the first half, which I think some people would disagree with, but
we like our albums backloaded.
We like it in the back.
We like big fat.
Gavin and I, we like
fat,
it in the back.
Yeah, back fat albums.
So I would say from A Divine Eradication, which is the 6th song, all the way to Incompletion, which is the last song, the 11th song, are my favorite songs. A Divine Eradication and Incompletion are my two favorites. Who Will Guard the Guardians is also really good. Gavin, I would recommend for you to listen to Paper Lung. Excuse me, I'm playing a song right now. And I don't know, Paper Lung and Incompletion.
All right, I can listen to that tonight. I can tell you that.
You should.
So,
do you listen to this band at all?
No, I've never heard of them.
You should listen to them, because I was listening to them today. I'm like, this is definitely something Gavin would listen to.
Sounds
So
good.
give the like seriously, like their 80s synth pop,
Perfect.
like just up your ass
Up
alley.
my ass.
Up your ass.
So, recently, Apple released the Apple
U2 album.
Yeah, they Apple Digital Master and lossless audio on Apple Music.
Yeah.
So I and Dolby Atmos, where it's like 360 music. Kind of.
Okay.
Okay, let me tell you. Let me put it this way. Let me tell you. There are some really shitty masters of Dolby Atmos. Holy fuck. There are some
Really?
bad ones. And I didn't bring my headphones, but I'll show you after this. I'm pretty sure this will work with it.
Explain. Yeah, you'll have to explain.
So
to me
Dolby
what it
Atmos is basically like this 3D soundstage that gets set like it's a program, and that they can master songs. So they can put like a guitar up in the top corner and then the
Okay.
bass in the bottom corner, for example.
Okay.
Or put the drums right behind you and put the singer on your left side.
Okay.
Like it's literally like they just move a ball and put it in like this
That's
digital
kinda
room.
cool.
So anyway, this album doesn't have that, but I will show you an album that does
Yeah.
a good version and then a shitty version of it.
Okay.
And a shitty version of Dolby Atmos. Because one of my favorite bands released a really shitty, The Replacements released a Dolby Atmos enabled like,
Oh, I think you told me about that.
and
I
it's
feel
just
like you might have
not
told me about
good.
that.
It's just not fucking good.
Okay.
And I was really disappointed. And me and Zach have had conversations about this where it makes it kind of sound empty sometimes for certain songs. It makes it sound like there's a lot more air in the room.
Okay.
And not necessarily a bad thing, but for certain songs you kind of want it all like really in your ears.
Yeah.
But like if it were like an acoustic songs, for example, you kind of want that to be a little bit more airy. But anyway,
So are they remastering with this Adobe thing, or are they
they kind of are.
re-recording?
they're remastering
Okay.
in a
Yeah,
sense.
I
So
don't know
it's-
how I feel about
yeah,
that.
and me and Zach had a conversation where it's like, you're altering the old art and then just making new art from it, but
I mean,
it's
yeah,
the
that's
same
just a
art.
discussion with like remasters in general. To
Yeah.
be honest,
I'm okay with remasters as long as they
keep it similar.
Yeah, keep it similar, but this kind of changes the whole ecosystem of that.
Yeah.
And then one last thought about this is that Dolby Atmos also kind of does make it feel like you're listening from a vinyl sometimes, because it feels like
Okay.
you're in that area. And vinyl is really good about making it sound like vinyl is really good, period, but it's really good at making you feel like you're in the studio with them, especially on certain speakers. Especially
Yeah.
if it was like stereo, it kind of makes it really feel like that. So, yeah. Anyway,
ya.
so this album I'm recommending is Typhoons by Royal Blood. Royal Blood. This is a little bit different, and Sean says that they've kind of turned a little bit poppy off of their 2 singles that they released before the album. It's basically just, it's not as heavy. The lyrics are, I think, a little bit heavier. They're a little bit more meaningful, but the music and like the rhythms and everything in it is very meh as compared, like just kind of like, I wanted it to be like
Yeah, like they do.
like hard stuff. Like I
Yeah.
wanted something like, angsty.
Rock hard.
Yeah. But this is more like dance rock. It's not like Panic at the Disco
Not like
dance rock.
Vampire
Yeah,
Weekend
not
and
like
Panic at the
that.
Disco. Okay.
I'm talking about like early Muse.
Okay.
Like what
I know you're-
Supermassive Black Hole, for
Yeah,
example, is
yeah.
like my go-to. Like that's when I think of early Muse, I think of that. So it's like an entire album of that sound, and then there's one song at the end that's kind of like a piano ballad.
Okay.
So that was new for them.
And
I
when
think
did that come out?
this came out this year on April 30th. So
Okay.
not too long ago. And I listened to it all last night, and the first few this is a front-loaded album, I think, but it's pretty good, pretty laid out, pretty good. I know you don't really like Queens of the Stone Age, but
No, I do not.
but they're
Yeah.
yeah, but their singer has a recording studio, and their song Boilermaker was recorded in
That's cool.
his studio. So
The Queens of the Stone Age singer?
yeah,
Okay.
his name's Josh Home or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, Josh Home. Yeah, and so yeah, front to back, pretty good album. I keep finding these pretty good albums. It's not what I wanted it to be. I think that's my expectations were set a little high for them. I wanted something like really hard, but like I said, still a really good album. It does like all of them are kind of the same tempo too. There's
Okay.
one song that goes on for excruciatingly long time. The song Limbo goes on for 4 minutes and 53 seconds,
Whew.
and it didn't need to at all, at all. It was like drawn out, and it could have been a 3-minute song.
I hate songs that do that, and this band, the does that like a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, synth pop songs do that all the time,
Yeah.
and it's just like
if you're not into it, or if you're not digging that kind of thing, Arctic Monkeys are also in that same boat where it's like they just keep going on with a couple of songs. It's just okay. I got the gist of it whenever you first said it.
It's fine if it there's songs that are like 10 minutes long that I love, but it's like you gotta change it. You can't keep doing the same beat, or I'm gonna go insane.
Yeah, there is a song on here. I will find it whenever we listen to it, but like there's a whole count in here that's just kind of like silent, and it's really cool to me.
That's cool.
It's like 1, 2. It's like I don't remember how it goes, but it's like 1, 2, 3 off, 1, 2, 3, and it's just. But it's in 4/4, and it's still like it's not like banging like hardcore or anything like that. But their older albums are still better than this. But this is like their, I think like new music entertainment, NME. I think that's what it's called, the magazine turned article website, NME. And
what about it?
They wrote an article about it and said that this is their best. And I read it and I was like, I don't think it's their best. In a sense that, yes, it's their best in that they were a little bit more inventive with their sound. They weren't just trying to sound, but they had also said like, they were trying to like dig up rock and roll and stuff like that. And in my opinion, they were talking about not NME was not Royal Blood. I don't think Royal Blood wanted to take the charge on that, but
they're not Oasis.
Yeah,
We're the new Beatles.
It's just kind of weird that some people are like Royal Blood is like the newest rock and roll, like the shit.
They say that about every band.
Yeah, and it's like
this band, they're reinventing rock.
Yeah, and this is not it. Like
Greta Van Fleet, they just brought back 70s rock.
Yeah.
Rock hasn't been back since Greta Van Fleet.
This is honestly just Young Muse, except that this is also their third album. So,
It's only Royal Blood's third album?
Yeah.
Have they done like EPs, SPs, LPs, singles?
I think they released an LP first, or an EP first, and then... Or
I just call them all albums.
Yeah, basically. They might as well be. Especially if it's like 5 or 6 songs, might as well be.
But they've been around for a little while, right?
Their first album came out in 2016.
Wow, really?
2014.
Okay. Yeah, that's what
and that was a really good album, and I really like that. Also, I feel like this is also just kind of like a storyline thing, but like they like changed their look of it. So like this is the new album cover, and it's animated too, so it's kind of cool.
That's cool.
Cool to look at, but like they just kind of changed their feel of it. So it's like these cool looking ones, and then I don't know. Yeah, just kind of
That's cool.
Still a really good album. I think you'd enjoy it.
I think I would.
And I'll play a couple of songs to it, and it's just really nice to listen to. And I also wanted to hear, because you can't listen to high-res lossless audio without headphones.
Wow.
Yeah, so...
We both got headphones. We
are
lossless.
Yeah. So we'll try it.
We'll try it. Well, gonna wrap things up here real quick. Gavin, I want to sincerely apologize for once again hogging the podcast to myself.
I don't care.
But at the same time,
I don't have
you're
much to talk
welcome
about.
because I know you're working and you're tired.
Yeah.
So, but I can see that you're like starting to get like not as tired because you're getting into your work schedule, so you have more energy. So I'll let you have the next episode.
I will say that I have enjoyed my work a little bit more. One of my friends from school, Eric, like I showed you, he recorded me eating today, but we had a lot more fun today.
Good.
I think
I can tell your energy is like way higher.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. It's just really enjoyable whenever I have someone to make jokes with. So.
Yeah, I feel you.
Especially
I'm gonna come work with you.
Yeah.
God, could you imagine?
Especially
if I worked at the hospital. Whew.
Yeah, I think tomorrow we're doing some credits, so we're just
rolling credits.
Yep.
What does that mean? Doing credits?
Returns, pharmacy returns. We're just sorting pharmacy returns. A lot of fun.
At the hospital?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. A lot of fun.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to apologize for that. Maybe I'm just apologizing to listeners then for hogging the podcast. As long as I don't have anything big going on in my life, I'll never tell a story that long. I'm just kidding. I hope I do. I like telling stories, and just need to figure out a way to do it that doesn't take up, that's more involving. Let's say that. I want to thank you everybody for listening to our hour and 45-minute long podcast special for today.
Half the length of the last one.
Yeah, pretty much. Let's just do another hour 15. We'll make it 3.
Yeah.
Just want to thank everybody for listening and subscribing and
liking and sharing,
doing everything you can. Yeah, tell your grandma about this tell your mom to listen to this podcast.
Yeah.
Have her get offended. Tell us about it.
If you get to the end of the episode, tell us goodbye.
Say Big Chungus.
Yeah, Big Chungus.
Say Big Chungus says.
Goodbye, bye.